Welcome in to the Fun Astrology Podcast. Thomas Miller, Wednesday, November 3rd. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to do a listener question here, but I wanted to set the stage for really tomorrow's the big day, as we've been talking about. Mentioned it on Monday. Here we'll reference it again, the new moon tomorrow, which happens at 5:14 p.m. tomorrow evening. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, and we'll actually look at the alignments in the sky when the moon is new at that hour. But backing that up, it's in Scorpio, so we've got to get the moon into Scorpio, and that's what today is about. So 8:52 p.m. tonight, Eastern Time, we get a Scorpio moon, and that will be in Scorpio all the way through Friday. So basically all of tomorrow, all of Friday, Scorpio moon. The other things that have been in the chart are still in the chart. So the sun is still opposite Uranus. Expect the unexpected, and that could be, again, I think opposites have very much two sides. So we could either expect a positive, or you could expect something that maybe would allow for some growth. Mercury and now the moon are both square to Pluto, just like we talked about, yesterday? And today also the moon will be trining Jupiter. So we had the Mercury trine on Monday. We've got the lunar trine today. So, I mean, that's going to be quick, but it's kind of fun because you can play the lunar trine with Jupiter and the sun opposite Uranus in Taurus. Bring in some money. Why not? Use the stars, but you got to jump on that moon. That's an 8 a.m. aspect, so Eastern time. Yeah, so early bird gets the worm. Okay, are your thinking caps on? Because if they are, I'd like to do a thinking cap listener question. You ready? Set?
Hi, Thomas. It's Ashley. I love your podcast and look forward to it every morning. I had a question about moving different cities in your houses. For example, if you had Saturn in the 6th house and you moved to a different city, is it possible that it could shift to, say, the 7th house if the time zone was different? Thanks.
Ashley asked this question right after I had narrated a chapter in Stephen Forrest's new book, The Endless Sky, talking about the parallax moon, where it's kind of the similar thing that she's asking here about changing locations, and might the location of that planet change? So here's why I was saying we've got to get our brains screwed on, because I am looking here at a nasa.gov website that if you searched it up, you would look for experiencing parallax with your thumb. NASA. That would get you there. What Steve was advocating is same thing, that actually the moon, the parallax moon, is a different degree than your natal moon. And that can make a big difference, especially in the progressions. Oh, all right, here's the little exercise. You can do this if you're not driving. Stretch your arm out in front of your face, put your thumb up. Now, leave your arm still, thumb is in front of your face. Close your left eye and note where your thumb is in relation to objects in the distance. Now close your right eye, switch eyes. And even though you have not moved, it looks like your thumb is in a different spot, just slightly, relative to the background. And as the article says, this apparent shift in position is known as the parallax. Basically, as your brain is trying to figure out the difference of the distance of the things in the background behind your thumb. Now, do the same thing, but this time move your thumb way up close to your face and notice how it changes. It rocks back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. Well, what Steve was pointing out with the moon is like the thumb close up to your face, because the moon is only 240 or so thousand miles away from the Earth. Saturn, on the other hand, is way out there. I mean, your arm isn't long enough, right? So Saturn's parallax, its shift, doesn't look like it moves that much. The moon's parallax, the moon's shift, moves quite a bit. And here's the rub. Astrology presumes that no matter where you are in the world, the center of the astrological wheel is the center of the Earth, not where you're standing on the planet. And that can affect basically the position of the moon in a chart. Now, certain software programs are accommodating the parallax, so you can do the center of the Earth position that's standard and traditional and works quite well, or you should and probably could check various times the parallax position, especially related to the progressed moon if you were looking at a progression chart. And yes, the answer to the question is yes. It's in the course. It's going to be the chorus around here, right? It's in the course. We do talk about the progressed moon in the synthesis section of the 101 course. Now, what Ashley's asking is, would that also change if you changed time zones? Now, let's think of two key words, space, time, because in astrology, we're dealing with both. So we just talked about the space part of the equation, the parallax. Now let's talk about the times. Now, what she's asking, I think, if I'm clear on this, is would your natal planets change if you changed time zones? The time piece of this is no, because you're fixing a certain birth time, and everything has a birth time, right? You have a birth time. Companies have birth times, pets have birth times, kids have birth times, marriages have birth times. You get the idea. So that space and time point, the city and location of your birth and that time are etched in concrete. You could be the first person to take Elon Musk's bus to Mars, and you would still have that natal chart of where you were born back in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. So moving from one place to another would only affect the transit chart. And obviously, that's where things are in the sky right now, and that's what we talk about on here every day. So that would be the effect of changing locations, but it would not affect your natal birth chart. Think of that specifically as the space and time of your birth, and that never changes, obviously. Ashley, awesome question. Thank you so much. Boy, you are really thinking it through, and that's just a perfect question, and I really appreciate you creating a springboard so we could talk about parallax, because I've been wanting to do that. Anyway, that book will be out. I'll tell you when the audio is available. It's going to be a great book, and it's not like it's not a reference book. It's just individual chapters of great stories, so you're really going to enjoy it. Have a good Thursday, or Thursday. I don't know what day it is. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.